Today is the 11th of November 2021. Obviously, it's Armistice Day, and we're also about near enough all the way through the COP26 conference in Glasgow. It starts on the 31st of October and it ends on the 12th of November. And in anticipation of that, I'm going to tell you here and now that the final agreement will be nothing more than a whitewash. There won't be anything of substance to it. The simple reason is the lobbyists will all have their way. That's not to say we can't do anything about it, but I'm telling you here and now, it will be an absolute waste of time. The agreement will be watered down, and at the end of the day, when that agreement comes before the British government, it will have to be put through Parliament, made into a bill to become law, and that can take about 18 months. Now, to say the very least, it's not going to do very much, and this is why Donald Trump pulled out of the Paris Climate Care Agreement. It didn't do much at all. One thing to Trump's credit is that he would actually give 500% tax relief on energy efficient equipment. Now, that may not mean much to you, but what actually means is, let's say I've got an inefficient freezer, for example, and he did this for businesses, not for domestic people. But let's say businesses, let's say you've got an inefficient freezer and a new one cost, let's say, £200. 500% tax relief would be tax relief on £1,000, 500%. The corporation tax on £1,000 would be £200. In other words, it would work out to be free. And it was cheaper to do that than than to pay taxes. This is why under Trump, carbon emissions fell. Had a big part of it. Now, party politics aside, as I said, this agreement will be, this conference is nothing more than a waste of time for the reason I've just given. The lobbyists have their way. It will take, and it will be a watered down agreement, and it won't be legally binding, and it'll be put through the Parliament, and it'll take about somewhere between 18 months to 2 years to become law. So it's not going to do very much. So what can we do about it? Well, very recently, Extinction Rebellion and Insulate Britain have been doing some stupid things by blocking the traffic and basically causing mass annoyance and disruption and putting people's lives in danger. Now, I'm a fitness instructor by trade, and I'll tell you, obesity and global warming both have a common enemy. Okay, I'm going to give you a solution to both problems that, if implemented, will make this conference an absolute irrelevance. And before I do anything, before I say anything, I have to declare an absolute conflict of interest. I am a vegetarian going on vegan, and that's the solution. How to put this? Let me deal with the obesity side, and I'll deal with the environmental side of being a vegetarian going on vegan. I'm a fitness instructor, and I advise all my fat loss clients to go vegetarian or preferably vegan. I can't make my clients do this, but do, all without fail or exception, report a very rapid loss of fat of about 2 to 4 pounds a week. Bearing in mind, if you're on Weight Watchers or Slimming World, they say they got fat loss about 1 to 2 pounds a week. The simple reason being, every time you eat meat, you're eating animal fat. There's no way around it. That's the first thing. Secondly, if you don't eat meat, rephrase that. Every time you eat meat, you're exposing yourself to what I call the DASH formula. These stand for diseases. So if you eat meat, you're exposing yourself to any diseases that animal was exposed to. One thing that makes me laugh is that cancer cells can travel in the bloodstream. So if that animal had any cancers, you're eating that. Secondly, cancers can often metastasize to the liver. So if you're eating liver and that animal had any form of cancer, you're eating that. I've wondered, is that one of the reasons why vegetarians get less cancer? Next thing, you're exposing yourself to any antibiotics, steroids or hormones that animal was exposed to. I've often wondered, is that one of the reasons why vegetarians get less breast lumps or fibroids or things such as that? So, as I said, that is the main health reason for going vegetarian. I also specialise in those people who are so overweight they require weight loss surgery. And what I do is, in those cases, I strongly encourage them to go vegetarian, and those that do report a very, very rapid loss of fat, very safely by the same token. But it's quite common for me to get phone calls from their doctor saying, "What have you done to my patient?" I said, "Why?" And they said blood pressure's gone down, heart rate's gone down, respiratory functions improved, cholesterol's improved, blood sugar's improved. I said, well, I tell them, and they warmly welcome this. Now, environmental point of view. Saw this article in The Independent a few days ago, okay, and it's called Veganism is the single biggest way to reduce our environmental impact, study finds. And it's after a study done by the University of Oxford, and it confirms everything that I know. And I actually read the report from the University of Oxford itself. It's a very detailed report. And basically, when I turned vegetarian, I was told that in the land and resources it takes to feed 1 metre, you can feed 17 vegetarians. And this report is very comprehensive. It says, if everyone stopped eating these foods, they found the global farmland use would be reduced by 75%, an areas equivalent to the size of the US, China, and the European Union all put together. It goes on to say that a vegan diet is probably the single biggest way to reduce your impact on planet Earth, not just greenhouse gases, but global acidification, eutrophication, land use, and water use. It's far bigger than cutting down your flight or buying an electric car, he explained, which would only reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And this is very, very positive. So what I'm asking everyone to do is give it some thought, okay? Now, if we all did this, if let's say we all go vegetarian, or preferably vegan, guess what's going to happen? We're going to cut our global, our greenhouse gases by at least half as a whole. And there's nothing the politicians can do about it. Okay, they can't make you eat meat. Okay, I'm declaring a conflict of interest. I'm a vegetarian. But if we all do this, this climate change conference is irrelevant. We all do this, great. Now, I accept there will be some casualties. There will be some financial casualties in the sense that the meat industry will suffer. And it's up to our governments to basically help them diversify. I wholly accept that. I don't want anyone to lose their jobs, but over a period of time we can help them diversify into alternative streams of income. Great. But what I'm asking you to do is give some thought to going vegetarian. It's better for your health, it's better for your wealth, it is much better for the environment. And that's why I encourage you to do that. If you're watching this video on Facebook and you like what you see, please message me and I'll give you a fact sheet. If you're looking at this video on YouTube or my video blog, look below and you'll see some links to some to help you with this. I suggest you go on Google and look for meat-free Mondays. That's a great place to start, because one thing I advocate people do is start on a Monday, go meat-free on Monday and build up from there. It's not a dramatic change, it's a gradual change to go vegetarian, but trust me, your health will thank you for it. I welcome your comments and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much for your time. I'll speak to you soon and stay safe. Goodbye.
Can you go downstairs, please? Are you busy?
No, I've just finished.